As always, it is a pleasure to greet you. Today, with the first of a group of videos that I want to do, we are very oriented to hardware. Lately, I am working on the drone. Probably there will be some shorts that we are recording with the theme you will see, but today I want to talk about a very interesting tool that is the NodeMCU. This integrated that you see here, we are going to see if I can make the camera see it. Well, yes, there, I think you can see it. Well, there, you can see it. Well, look at this little integrated that is there. The ESP8266 is one of the most interesting devices which you can find. Why? Because it has Wi-Fi. In fact, with this, we can do many projects, for example, using Arduino, as for example, to control lights through Wi-Fi. And very cheap, no? Look, this device can cost around, I don't know, like $5 or much less. Let's search on Amazon. The price is very cheap, Amazon. Node P. That should be around the order of this is the latest version. Also, this version, I don't have it. I have the previous one, as you can see. But let's look, NodeMCU. The ESP8266 is the one we want. The price is very cheap. Look, 3 of them cost you $16. You see? Are we talking about around almost $5 each one? So it's not very expensive. There are some that have a little screen, as you can see. Look, it's much nicer. It has a screen and you can configure things with the screen. But well, look, this one that we're going to use is the simple. That does not cost much and you can get it in any country and is very cheap. What can we do with this device? Well, as I said, the NodeMCU has the ability to connect to Arduino. You have the ability to connect to Wi-Fi. Costs about $2 on Amazon, is suddenly more expensive. But surely you can get it much cheaper in an electronics store, or order it from China is also an alternative. Well, as I said, this connects to Wi-Fi. One of the cool things we can do is place flashing. What is called flashing? This means change the configuration that comes by default, make a flash of the ROM that he brings, and change it, for example, to a Wi-Fi testing tool that would allow us at a given time, for example, to make tests of authentication, or to make tests of flooding, or of beacons in a network. We are going to play today with 2 of the tests, with beacons and with deauthentication, so that you see also that involves a level of risk. By a cybercriminal, this is used. Why? Because it can completely block a wireless network at a given time. Then we will show how this device works. What we will do, we will use a ROM, which is the Deauthentication, where, well, here you can see a little of the device. He can scan a Wi-Fi network by devices and block certain connections, for example. Or you can create many networks and confuse, for example, scanners. Wi-Fi even also serves you as a defensive mode at a certain time, if you want to use it. So, then, even this page offers us the sale of a device that already comes prepared, etc. But it is not necessary. This already comes with the screen and everything. It's very nice. Look at it. It is very nice. I think it costs $70. One thing like that. But we are going to use the simple. So, we don't have a screen or anything like that. We are going to configure it through the computer. And that's it. Then look. I think it costs like $70. I don't remember the price. Look, $99 it's worth. Like a little watch. But it's the same. It's the same. You decide if you buy your little watch. Or if you try another way. Very well. Then, we were talking about this device. Here at the bottom, in the download, here you have a part of instructions. In fact, you have a download here. And inside the download, it offers you different binaries or different options. We need one of the binaries. So well, we can use different tools to be able to make the adjustment. In this case, I'm going to use Google Chrome to be able to connect to it is one of the advantages that they have. Let's say some browsers allow us, for example, to connect to this type of devices and flash them directly from Google Chrome. Then I'm going to download the binary. I already have it downloaded. But well, the only thing you have to do is select the binary. Let me enable the scripts. And I'm going to select the corresponding binary. In this case, we have a NodeMCU As you can see, you can install binaries in other devices, but in this case, we have a NodeMCU. Okay, is this the ESP? Then I will select this one. I will not donate. Eventually, I can do it. But done. Look, I already downloaded the ESP8266 Deauthentication NodeMCU. That is the one we are going to use. Then if you notice, then here you have the tutorial to do it yourself, in fact. It tells you about the supported devices, etc. etc. You can see how to install the bin. One of the ways, as I was saying, the easiest way is to use Google Chrome. Okay? So I'm going to open Google Chrome here on my machine. Let me see. Let me open my Google Chrome. And let's select. Here it is. Let's select one of the profiles. Here it is. Perfect. Then, as you see, we would need to visit this URL from our Google Chrome browser. I'm going to copy that link, right? And I'm going to open it from Google Chrome. Then I'm going to visit it here. Done. Then it tells us, well, first we need to click on Connect, then connect RSP, and select the port we are going to use. Look here, I have some of the ports that I have configured in the machine, but we are going to connect now. This node. Okay, there it is. I'm going to connect it, and I'm going to connect it to the computer. And it should appear in a moment. It should appear. The device. Look at it. There it is. The CP2102 USB to Word Bridge controller is already paired. I'm going to say connect it. Done. So here I've already tested it to be sure that this is going to work with you. But look, I can delete it. I can take another one that is blank. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take one that is blank. Then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to disconnect this one that is ready. And I am going to use one of the ones I have here. I'm going to open it. And we are going to flash. Then, well, I'm going to remove the foam that comes with it. Then if it is ready, I will go back here. That this brings. Then, if you find this interesting, leave me in the comments. And I will show you how to configure it in other ways. Because you can do many things with it. Look here. A little blue light appears when it is connected. So, well then, let's go to the page. We say connect. And look, we are going to use this. Connect. Done. Okay? Then, I'm going to select here. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to select the file that we downloaded. This one that is there, LSP from outer. There it is. And I can tell you now, program. Ask us if we're sure. It's going to tell us that it's going to be a flashing of the firmware. And look, there's uploading the information. It's going to flash blue from time to time. I'm going to see if I can get it to disappear on the camera. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. It will blink blue. Yes, here if you want to observe here, where I have my finger, and eventually it will blink blue. Although I can't see it myself in the camera, the blinking in blue you are going to notice when you are doing it yourself. So this creates a configuration where it is going to offer a wireless network. And it is going to offer, oh look, I twisted a couple of legs, and it's going to offer a wireless network. And we're going to be able to connect to that wireless network. And then use the tool. Is already, well, it is almost finished. I'm not going to cut the video so you are not going to have problems. Then say, no, but the short film came out to him. Something else. Then I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cut it. We'll stay here for a while. It's almost finished. Right now it just blinked again, but I don't think it looks good with the camera. Done? Look, it's finished. Do you see? It tells us to reset it to run the new firmware, so I can close this here. I don't need the Chrome. And what I'm going to do now is disconnect it from my computer. And I'm going to connect it to a battery bank, to a power bank, to power it. Look, we're going to power it. That's it. The battery bank is with it. And that's what it's connected to. That's what we need. Okay? So what happens? This device is going to offer me a wireless network, which is called PON. Okay? So look, I'm going to look for the networks that are over here. One of the networks that he should offer me is called PON, like owned, but with a P, which is one of the, look, there it is, PON, is one of the most common networks. Let's say one of the most common names that you get in my cybersecurity world is this. PON means owned, but with P means that somebody hacked you. So, well, I'm going to get into that network precisely. Done. I'm connected. I'm connecting to that network, and that network is this device. You see? And now we could visit the IP address. Yes, my machine had already recorded this network, but just so you know, the password of that network is the outer. Over here is in the help. Is in the help of this page. If not, I'll leave it in the description. The network is called Pond, and the password is the outer. Look, here is password for Pond is the outer, of outer in lowercase. I am already connected to that network that is offering me my device, and as you can see, it's a weak network. Sure, perfect, nothing happens. Now we are going to connect to the IP address 192.168.4.1. That's the network that this device offers. Look, we're already connected. This project is a proof of concept for testing, is educational purposes, of course. I'm doing this to show you risks, to show you capabilities of devices that you can also use for your practices, to learn, to do labs, for example, to connect to networks, or to create your own network, to be able to configure your wireless devices without having to pay millions, to be able to control, for example, your lights. So with a project like this that costs you less than $3 each device, well, imagine that, and I can show you more things you can do. For example, connect a module with Bluetooth, with Arduino. There are many things. If you find it interesting, hardware hacking is one of the things I like the most. Leave me in the comments and leave me ideas. I tell you, finding new videos that catch your attention, that are attractive, is a headache, because I have already published so many things that precisely with my team is one of the things we try to evaluate. Well, this weekend, or this week, what are we going to show? So, well, this time I think it's going to be interesting for everybody, I hope. Well, look, we are already connected. So now I'm going to tell it that I understood that this is basically for educational purposes. And that's it. So look, there are a number of very large networks here. Look, in fact, well, here is our Hack Me If You Can network, which we have with our Alpha, the usual one, the network that we always use. So we'll do our testing and our demonstrations. And we have a couple of devices here. We have, for example, my tablet, which there you see, the Hack Me If You Can network. The other networks, we have to cover them. We have to cover the names. But, well, Hack Me If You Can. You can see them there. Perfect. Well, then, here you can scan, for example, the access points that are in range. It already scanned them. In fact, it already did it again. It already scanned it. We could scan the stations as well. But, well, we are more interested in the access points. Let's go to the attack menu. So look, we go here to attack. And here you have the different alternatives. For example, to authenticate beacon and proof. We are going to work with Dout and beacon. So look, I can select, for example, a specific network to work with for testing. So we're going to use the Hack Me If You Can network over here. Over here we have in the scan, we're going to be able to see the Hack Me If You Can network, the network where I'm connected. Look, that's the network that we have connected. So look, I'm going to select it over here. That's it. So now I'm going to attack. Now I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you that you're going to see that the moment I click on Deauthenticate here in Start, look, it's going to disconnect immediately. There, you are going to be able to see it immediately. Look, it is already gone. You see? And it will not let me connect. Look, I'm going to try to connect. Look, connecting, and it will not let me. Couldn't. Authenticate connection. Look at it. It will not let me. I have no sign that it is happening. Just look. I just look at the other networks. Sorry. I clicked where I shouldn't, but it just won't let me connect. I'm going to stop. This option here. Look, there it is. Connecting to another network. In fact, I'm going to stop it, and in a moment, it will let me connect to our network. Look, there it is. Sorry. Look, now it let me connect again. There it is. There you can see it. So as you can see, the attack is very effective and very fast. Like, works. Okay? Now, let's work with another one. So look, let's go to SSID, and we can see, for example, look, here it is. It was telling me, David Alejandro, who helps us with all the video and marketing part, he was telling me, leave it and see if somebody tells us what this song is called. He by default brings this song. Look, let's see what it is called. Let's see who tells me in the comments what it is called. Okay? So, what's up? I can tell him that, for example, place. Even that I'm going to tell him here in attack, I'm going to tell him to activate beacon. To activate it. And you're going to realize what is going to happen in a moment. Here. Then I'm going to tell it now. In SSID, I'm going to say, for example, that enable 50 here, for example. 50? I can say here, or well, look, let's leave it like this. Then I am going to say reload here. And look, we are connected, and you are going to be able to see, and I am going to show you all the networks that this tool is creating. I'll show you with the iPhone, which I also find interesting to show you. Here it is. Done. Look, here it is. Never gonna, there it is. Sorry. There you see the networks. Well, never gonna desert you. Never gonna hurt you. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna say goodbye. Etc. 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 Even then, obviously, I can change these names to something more random. Look, I can tell it to enable random mode, and look, it's already filled with garbage. The spectrum. I show you all the networks. Yeah, I know. Thanks for all the heads up. Ready, look, there is all the garbage. Look at all the garbage that is there now in the networks. That basically are the ones we are creating now, filling the spectrum. One of the things that also serves at a defensive level is to deceive a potential attacker by creating a series of networks that do not exist. For example, you can do it, or you can create the network name you want. I can, for example, call it test 1. For example, right? And I can reload, right? I disable the random mode. Test 50 networks, and we'll activate 50 to remove them all and reload here. Then you can do, let's say, the settings you want. It depends on what you need. So as you can see, this tool that the NodeMCU is very practical, very easy to configure. As I was saying, you can do many more things. But for now, was what I wanted to show you. If you find it interesting, well, let me know, and we will do other tests, other practices with this tool. It also has a test menu, but in this case it is not so interesting, and you have the options. And well, I hope you found it interesting that the video was not so long. And well, let me know if you have any questions or concerns. As always, take care, and remember that learning and knowledge change your reality. See you soon.